You walk into your kitchen, and there it is again, the counter clutter, the shoes by the door, the drawer that fights you every morning. You clicked because you want chores to feel simple, and I promise you, by the end of this, they will. I spent years surrounded by Japanese homes that stayed calm with almost no effort, and I finally understand why. These 11 habits are not about buying more. They are about tiny shifts that make your home run itself. And the very last one is a single square of cloth that quietly replaced half the plastic bins in my house. Stay with me, because it changed the way I store everything. I still remember standing in my aunt's tiny apartment in Osaka, barely 400 square feet, watching her put away an entire futon in under a minute while tea was still warm on the table. Nothing was cramped. Nothing felt tight. And every trick I am about to share works in a rental, a small apartment, or a big house, with no drilling and no permission from anyone. So let me show you what I saw, what I doubted, and what completely changed how I keep a home. Let me start with the very first thing you touch when you come home, because this is where all the mess begins. The first habit is the entryway that stops dirt before it ever enters. In Japan, this spot has a name. It is called the genkan, a small sunken area right inside the door where shoes come off, every single time, no exceptions. For years I thought this was just politeness. It is not. It is the smartest cleaning trick in the entire house. Think about everything the bottom of a shoe carries. Street grime, pollen, oil, tiny bits of gravel, whatever was on that public bathroom floor. When you walk that across your carpet and your kitchen tile, you are spreading it into every room you love. But when shoes stop at the door, so does 80% of the dirt that would have needed cleaning later. Here is how to build a genkan in any home. Place a low, flat basket or a simple tray right at your entrance. Add a small bench or even a sturdy stool so nobody has to balance on one foot. Keep a little shoe rack there for the pairs you use most. Then make one rule for the whole household. Shoes come off here and only here. Within a week, you will notice your floors staying clean for days instead of hours. And once you feel how much less you sweep, you will wonder why you ever did it another way. And if you want all of these habits laid out in one place, I have something for you. I put everything I have learned from years inside Japanese homes into a digital book called Clear Home, Deep Order, and the Complete System. It walks you through every habit, every fold, every tension rod trick, with clear steps you can follow room by room at your own pace. You will find the link in the description below. It is the quiet companion to everything you are watching here. Now, let's keep going, because if drawers are your problem, wait until you see what I do with the space you are completely ignoring above your head. The second habit turns your messiest drawer into the most satisfying one. Open your dresser drawer right now. I am guessing your clothes are stacked flat, one shirt on top of another, so you can only see the top layer. To reach the shirt you actually want, you dig, you unstack, and the whole pile collapses. In Japanese homes, I saw something different, and it stopped me cold the first time. They fold clothes into small, standing rectangles and place them upright, side by side, like files in a cabinet. Every shirt stands on its own. You open the drawer and you see all of them at once. Every color, every pattern, no digging. To do it, fold a shirt into a smooth rectangle about the height of your drawer, then fold it once more so it can stand. Line them up front to back. A drawer that held 12 flat stacked shirts will suddenly hold 20 standing ones, because standing folds waste no space between layers. The morning scramble disappears. You reach in, you pick, you close. Nothing collapses, nothing wrinkles from being buried. It took me one evening to refold everything, and I have never gone back. But if drawers are your problem, wait until you see what I do with the space you are completely ignoring above your head. The third habit uses the one direction you always forget: vertical space. Look up in your kitchen, your bathroom, your closet. All that air between the top shelf and the ceiling is doing nothing for you. In small Japanese homes, where every inch matters, they treat vertical space as prime real estate. And the tool they use for this is genius, because it needs no tools at all. It is called a tsupari bow, a spring-loaded tension rod that wedges between two walls or two sides of a cabinet using nothing but pressure. No screws, no holes, no landlord phone call. You twist it to expand, it grips, and it holds real weight. I put one across the inside of my undersink cabinet and hung all my spray bottles from it by their triggers, freeing the entire floor of the cabinet for baskets. I put another high in my closet to double my hanging space. You can place one inside a kitchen cabinet to separate cutting boards and baking sheets so they stand upright instead of falling like dominoes. A pack of 2 costs around $15, and it will change 3 rooms in an afternoon. Suddenly you are storing twice as much in the same footprint. And that word, footprint, matters more than you think, because the next habit is about protecting the little floor space you have left. The 4th habit is letting your dishes dry themselves. In American kitchens, the dish rack sits on the counter, taking up a huge chunk of your prep space, collecting water, always in the way. When I first lived abroad, I hated that rack more than any other object in my kitchen. But in Japan, the dish drying rack often lives inside a cabinet mounted directly above the sink with a slatted bottom so water drips straight down the drain. You wash a plate, you slide it into the rack above, and it dries out of sight while the water disappears where it belongs. Your counter stays completely clear. If you cannot mount a cabinet rack, there is an easy version. Get a slim over-the-sink drying rack that rolls up, a set of stainless steel bars that lay across your sink. You wash, you lay dishes right on top, and when you are done, you roll it up and tuck it in a drawer. The water drains into the sink, not onto your counter, and your workspace is back in seconds. I reclaimed almost 2 feet of counter this way, and 2 feet in a small kitchen feels like a whole new room. But dishes are not the only thing in your home quietly growing something you cannot see, so let me take you into the bathroom. The 5th habit takes 15 seconds and saves you from scrubbing mold forever. Here is a question that changed my bathroom. Why do we let water sit on surfaces and then act surprised when mold appears? In Japanese homes, the bathing culture is serious, and so is keeping the bathroom dry. After a shower, there is a small ritual. You take a squeegee, the same kind you might use on a window, and you run it down the shower walls, the glass, and the tile, pushing the water down the drain. It takes about 15 seconds. That is it. But those 15 seconds remove the standing water that mold and soap scum need to grow. I used to scrub my shower doors on my knees with harsh sprays every weekend. Since I started squeegeeing, I do a deep scrub maybe once a month. And even that is easy because nothing has had a chance to build up. Hang a small squeegee inside the shower on a suction hook, so it is right there when you finish. This one tiny motion has saved me hours of scrubbing and a small fortune in cleaning sprays. And speaking of buying things we do not need, the next habit is the one that finally stopped me from wasting money on storage. The 6th habit is a mindset the Japanese have a name for, and it undoes years of overbuying. It is called danshari, 3 ideas in 1 word. Refuse what you do not need, dispose of what no longer serves you, and separate yourself from the urge to keep things out of guilt. Now here is the honest part. For years, my answer to clutter was to buy another organizer, another bin, another basket, another set of drawers from the store, and every single one just gave my clutter a nicer place to hide. The bins filled up, and I was right back where I started, only poorer. Danshari flips the order. You do not organize first. You reduce first, then organize what truly remains. Try this. Pick 1 drawer today, take everything out, then only put back what you actually used in the last year. Everything else goes into a box by the door. You will be shocked how much fits comfortably when you are not storing things you forgot you owned. I emptied 2 entire storage bins doing this, and I never replaced them. The relief of that empty space is something you have to feel to believe. But reducing is only half the battle, because the things you keep still need a home that makes sense, and that is where the next habit comes in. The 7th habit gives every object a fixed address. In Japan, there is a cleaning and ordering system so effective that factories around the world copied it, and it started with 5 simple ideas. The heart of it is this: everything you own gets one specific spot, and it always returns to that spot. It sounds obvious. It is not how most of us live. Think about your scissors. Where are they right now? If you had to guess, you already see the problem. When an item has no fixed home, it lands wherever your hand drops it. And that is exactly how counters and tables fill up with random piles. So walk through your kitchen and assign homes out loud. The scissors live in this drawer, front left. The keys live in this bowl by the door. The remote lives in this tray on the shelf. The magic is not the label. The magic is that putting something away becomes automatic, because there is no decision to make. Your hand already knows where it goes. Once everything has an address, tidying stops being a chore and becomes a 10-second reflex you barely notice. And this next part is especially for you if you have been thinking these tricks only work for people who own their homes. Now, I know some of you are watching this in a rental in a small apartment, thinking you cannot change your space because you cannot drill, cannot paint, cannot renovate. This next stretch is for you, because the truth is these ideas were born in small Japanese apartments where nobody renovates anything. The 8th habit is the adjustable under-sink shelf that works around your pipes. The cabinet under your sink is usually a black hole. There is a pipe running through the middle, so a normal shelf does not fit, and everything just gets shoved in a heap around it. Japanese homes solve this with an expandable under-sink rack, a little shelf on legs that you can adjust in width and height, with a notch or a split design so it fits neatly around the pipe. It stands on the cabinet floor, needs zero installation, and instantly gives you 2 levels of storage where you had one messy pile. You put tall bottles below and flat items on the shelf above. Nothing touches, nothing hides behind anything. These cost around $20, and they turn the most wasted cabinet in your home into the most useful. When you move out, you simply pick it up and take it with you. Nothing is attached to the home. Everything belongs to you. And since we are keeping everything portable and pressure fit, let me show you how to bring order to the coldest, messiest box in your kitchen. The 9th habit brings the container store idea into your refrigerator, the smart way. Open your fridge. I bet things are lost in the back. Some of them expired, some of them forgotten, all of them wasting the money you spent. In Japan, refrigerators are often smaller, so nothing can be allowed to disappear. The trick is clear. Open bins that pull out like little drawers. You group by type. 1 bin for sauces, 1 for dairy, 1 for snacks, 1 for tonight's dinner ingredients. Instead of digging past everything, you pull out the whole bin, take what you need, and slide it back. Nothing hides in the back because you simply lift the bin and see straight to the rear. Add 1 bin you label "Eat Me First" and put anything close to expiring there. My food waste dropped so much that the bins paid for themselves in a month of groceries I stopped throwing away. And because the bins are clear and pull out, wiping up a spill is a 10-second job instead of emptying the entire shelf. That saved money is real, but the next habit saves you something even more precious, which is time you did not know you were losing. The 10th habit is small daily cleaning instead of one exhausting marathon. There is a reason Japanese homes look tidy on a random Tuesday, and it is not that they clean for hours on the weekend. It is the opposite. They do tiny bits of cleaning constantly, woven into the day, so mess never gets the chance to pile into a monster. This is different from the big year-end clean, which does exist and has its own name. Day to day, the idea is point cleaning. You wipe the sink while the coffee brews. You squeegee the shower before you step out. You wipe the bathroom counter right after brushing your teeth, using the towel already in your hand. Each one takes under a minute, and none of them feels like cleaning. But together they mean your home never reaches the point where you need to block out a whole Saturday to recover. I used to dread Saturdays because they were lost to chores. Now my weekends are mine again, and the house still looks cared for, because I paid a few seconds here and there all week long. That shift from marathon to sprinkles is the quiet secret behind homes that always feel ready. And once your home is consistently tidy, you unlock something most people never experience, which is what the next habit is all about. The 11th habit is the beauty of deliberate empty space. In the West, we treat empty space like a failure, like a shelf we forgot to fill. In Japanese design, there is a concept called ma, the appreciation of negative space, the pause between things. In a traditional home, there is often an alcove called the tokonoma, and the whole point of it is restraint. You display just one thing there, a single flower, one scroll. And because there is only one object, your eye actually rests on it. Nothing competes. Nothing overwhelms. Here is how you bring Ma into your home this week. Pick one surface. Your coffee table, your nightstand, one shelf. Clear it completely. Then place back just one thing you love. A single candle, one small plant, a photo that makes you smile. Leave the rest of that surface empty on purpose. At first, the emptiness will feel strange, almost wrong, because we are trained to fill every inch. But give it 3 days. You will notice your shoulders drop a little every time you walk past it. That one clear space becomes a place your eyes and your mind can rest, and the calm from that single surface will make you want it everywhere. But I have saved the very best for last, because this final habit is the one that quietly replaced more storage products in my home than anything else, and almost nobody outside Japan knows about it. The 12th habit, and the one I most want you to try this weekend, is a single square of cloth called furoshiki. I first saw it years ago at a train station in Kyoto when a woman beside me pulled a beautiful cloth from her bag and, in about 10 seconds, folded and knotted it into a perfect carrying bag around a boxed gift and 2 water bottles. I stared. No handles, no zippers, no plastic, just one square of fabric and a few folds. Furoshiki is a traditional Japanese wrapping cloth, and people have used it for hundreds of years to carry, store, and wrap almost anything. And here is why it quietly beats the plastic bins we keep buying. A bin is one shape forever. It fits one thing, and when you do not need it, it still takes up its full rigid space on a shelf. A furoshiki cloth becomes any shape you need. Wrap a gift and you never buy wrapping paper again. Not 2 corners and it is a market bag for groceries. Wrap a bottle and it becomes a carrier with a handle. Fold it around your out-of-season sweaters and it is a soft, breathable storage bundle that flattens to nothing when empty. Lay it flat in a drawer and it becomes a liner that keeps small things from sliding. When you are done, it folds down to the size of a handkerchief and disappears into a pocket. One cloth, dozens of jobs, no shelf space wasted, no plastic thrown away. To start, you only need 1 square of fabric, about the width of your shoulders, in a material with a little grip like cotton. Learn 2 knots, the simple double knot for a bag and the 2-corner tie for wrapping a box. There are countless free guides, and within 1 afternoon you will be wrapping things you used to stuff into drawers. I now keep 3 of them by my door. 1 for groceries, 1 for gifts, 1 that lives folded in my purse for whatever the day brings. They cost almost nothing, they last for years, and they made me realize how many single-use, single-shape objects I had been buying to solve problems that one clever cloth solves better. This is the habit that took me the longest to trust and now the one I reach for the most. It existed quietly in Japanese homes for generations while the rest of us kept buying more plastic, and now it is yours. So here is what all of this really gives you. Not a perfect home, but a lighter one. A home that mostly takes care of itself, so your energy goes to your life instead of your clutter. You are the kind of person who wants a space that feels calm the moment you walk in. And now you have the exact habits to build it, one tiny shift at a time, starting today. I want to hear from you, so tell me this. Which one are you trying first? The 15-second shower squeegee or the furoshiki cloth by the door? Drop it in the comments and tell me where you are watching from, because I love seeing how far these little Japanese habits travel. If a calmer, simpler home is what you are after, come join us here, because this is a whole community of people making their homes feel effortless, one small change at a time. And next time, I am going to show you the tiny 5-minute nightly reset that Japanese families do before bed, the one that makes the whole house feel brand new every single morning. I will see you there. You made it to the end, and that tells me you truly care. So let me offer you something. Everything today was just the overview. Inside the Tidy Home Circle, I take it further, room by room, picking up right where we stopped. In there, you can ask me your own question, and I answer you myself. You'll belong among home organizers just like you. Just point your phone at the code, cancel anytime,